So I'm really disappointed in Jussie Smollett, whatever the fuck his name is. I'm really disappointed in him. I feel like he fucked up Black History Month, bro. Like, damn. I'm not gonna say yet until he said out his mouth that it was fake and it was staged. I don't want to completely blame him, because, you know, like somebody that I was talking to, they said, like, you know, police in Chicago are racist, so they might probably trying to frame him and make him look like he's a liar. But if he's not, then bro, you up for real. Like, why would you do that? Like, you ain't had to do that. Then you gave Donald Trump immunity to laugh at and shit.
Okay, a lot to cover. We've got some breaking news. Actor and musician Jussie Smollett from the hit show Empire was attacked and beaten in Chicago.
Two assailants approached him, wearing ski masks and yelling homophobic and racist slurs.
Racial and homophobic slurs.
They poured a chemical on him believed to be bleach and tied a rope around his neck.
As the men fled, they yelled, "This is MAGA country."
I'm probably America's preeminent expert on hate crime hoaxes, and I've been documenting these throughout the years. A new hate crime. Well, no, it turns out that actually, you know, it was a person doing a hoax, right?
That Smollett and the two men are being questioned by police for staging the attack, allegedly because his character was being written out of the show.
Oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
Smash that like button if you're watching me on YouTube. Well, 50 Cent, his new targets for the day are Tierra Marie again, that police captain, and then he even goes in on Jussie Smollett. 50 Cent is relentless, and he always has a target for each day. Well, let's get into it. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys all had a good day, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. Well, we got Jussie Smollett. He puts him on a Tupac cover. He says it's 2019. People, things are a little different now. Commander Emmanuel Gonzalez would say, if you see him, shoot him on sight. Now, 50 Cent should be treading lightly, but he keeps targeting that police officer now. 50 Cent, obviously, everyone's disgusted with the Jussie Smollett case and reacting to it. It's like, this guy, what was he thinking, man? You know, like, he's going to set up his own hate crime, so he gets sympathy, but for what? His career was still good. What was he trying to launch his music career? I mean, I have so many questions about this, and I think everybody does, but now he's facing felony charges, and he probably will get felony charges. There's so much evidence against him. It wasn't well thought out.
Jussie Smollett, an unimportant butter boy, was arrested for staging a fake incident. And the story is all garbage. The media sure do know how to get people talking and distracted. These stories like this is just like a movie acted out in plain sight. What mother names her son Jussie? That name sound like it came out of a children's bedtime story. And it's all made up. This actor was starring in the sold-out show Empire. And he stated that his salary was garbage. This incident took place 2 months ago. And now he is arrested. This story have baloney written all over it. This Jussie Butterboy is just following his script to get the public talking. Jussie father is a Jewish man. And his mother is African American. This Jussie boy came out the closet as a crumb lover. And he was proud of it. He was on national TV in the year of 2016 telling the world that he loves the dingleberries. And he enjoys it like a hot bowl of gumbo. The only thing this story is doing is giving him publicity for his new album that's about to come out. This Jussie Butterboy is a major sellout who scatters his crumbs like rose bellas. This guy is using this as a marketing tool. He won't get no jail time for this because it's all garbage. This Jussie guy is just a dingleberry lover who's about to get paid more money for confusing the sleeping sheep. And on a ruthless note, when Jussie, the butter boy who's desperate to get more money, spends his last day on this earth. He will be with his Lord Lucifer, the one he dearly loved, and all the rest of the known sellouts. And they spends eternal life in hell. And they will regret it. Ha 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 ha. Like, comment and subscribe and turn on notifications.
What tweet? About saying that it is a modern day lynching that, sorry. Jussie Smollett.
Okay. I come to you not only as the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, but also as a black man who spent his entire life living in the city of Chicago. I know the racial divide that exists here. I know how hard it's been for our city and our nation to come together. And I also know the disparities, and I know the history. This announcement today recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career.
I will be in Chicago performing at the Pavilion Valentine's weekend. You cowards that jumped out on Jussie in Chicago, I'll be there performing in Chicago. I'm going to the same building. I'm gonna walk out of the same building that Jussie did. I'm begging you, please jump out on me. Jump out on me with a loose. Whoever did it, please, if you on Instagram and you hear this, please jump out on me. I'll be in Chicago.
Account of a horrific attack, it wouldn't have occurred to them that it might not be true. After all, why would the star of a hit TV show make up a story about being violently assaulted by two homophobic racists? But that's exactly what police are now alleging. Late afternoon, in a tweet, Chicago police announced Jussie Smollett has now been officially classified as a suspect in a criminal investigation. On January 29th, Smollett, who is black and gay, says he was attacked by two masked men as he was walking home from a Subway sandwich shop in downtown Chicago. He says the men beat him up, threw bleach on him, looped a rope around his neck, and yelled racist and homophobic slurs. Chicago police initially said they were investigating the reported attack as a hate crime. Then, last week, they arrested the two men who were seen in surveillance video. They were released without charges, but later it came out the men were brothers and Smollett knew them. One was an extra on his show. Even more damning, new video. In this store security footage, the two men appear to be buying a red hat and ski masks the day before the alleged attack. The clerk says he's shocked.
I looked at the guy and I'm like, wait, I'm the one that showed the guys the mask. So it's still, I'm still in doubt.
You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
Since the first doubts were raised about Smollett's claims, the actor has insisted everything happened exactly as he said.
How can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth.
Smollett has now added a high-profile Los Angeles-based lawyer to his team, who has represented numerous troubled celebrities, including Michael Jackson and R&B singer Chris Brown. Tonight, police charged Smollett with a felony for filing a false police report. If convicted, he could face jail time, but the damage to his reputation would no doubt last much, much longer.
Welcome to Headline News 24/7. Please click like and subscribe. Confirmed hoax, Jussie Smollett case falls apart with new revelations. It looks like the Jussie Smollett hoax story just blew wide open, according to multiple reports. Get ready guys, the Jussie Smollett case is about to break wide open. Insane details coming soon. Jussie Smollett update, Chicago PD are interviewing persons of interest today and it does not sound like it's MAGA guys that they're questioning. Jussie Smollett update, at TMZ on Twitter has some of the story. Chicago police are questioning an Empire Fox actor, a friend of that actor and Jussie. They believe both were at the scene of the attack. Both were picked up at O'Hare Airport last night. Now at News in Chicago has a report that the two men who were being questioned by Chicago police about Jussie Smollett case are African-American men and they confirm at least one is also an actor on Empire. Chicago PD has confirmed, the two men taken in for questioning are the same men in the surveillance video screen grab. The PD confirms transportation records, along with interviews with Jussie and other witnesses, led to the idea of the two men. Jussie Smollett is being questioned again by Chicago PD. And officers are also talking to another man, an actor who has also appeared on Empire, TMZ has learned. Sources connected to the case tell us the actor, not Jussie, was picked up by Chicago PD Wednesday night right after he flew into O'Hare Airport. We're told Jussie was brought in Thursday morning for additional questioning. Another man who was with the actor at O'Hare was also taken in for questioning. The two individuals are being questioned as persons of interest. Police won't say if they are the same two people seen in the grainy image released last month. But, law enforcement sources tell TMZ, they believe the two people were at the scene of the alleged attack. There's more, from WGN Chicago. Chicago police have identified persons of interest in the alleged attack of Empire actor Jussie Smollett. These individuals are not yet suspects but were an area of concern and are being questioned, Chicago police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi tweeted. Chicago police said that two men were picked upon their arrival at O'Hare International Airport Thursday. Both of them are African American, and at least one of them has a connection to the Empire actor. Guglielmi told the Associated Press that the two men are the same people shown in surveillance photos released last month by police. Guglielmi said the men were identified through advanced technology, interviews with Smollett and witnesses, and transportation records. Sounds extremely fishy to me. What do you think? More to come, stay tuned.
All right, I just heard about the horrible incident that happened with our little brother Jussie Smollett. And I've listened to a lot of people's words, and I don't have all that eloquent stuff to say. I just want to say this to little brother Jussie, that as a black man in this country, that I'm down with you. And I know a lot of brothers that's down with you. This ain't about sexual preference or nothing. This is about coming to the aid of another brother that has tasted the brutality of hatred, racism, and bigotry. So we down with you, Jussie Smollett. However you want to handle this, we down with you. This is not a call for violence or anything, so don't misunderstand it. I just don't have all the words everybody else get. We down with you, soldier. We just want you to know that. Your OG is down with you. Man, we're going to pray for you, brother. Right on. Okay, I call myself walking incognito with my driver just so I can have a regular day out in Pasadena. So we looking for a Lululemon and an Under Armour on his phone. The damn Under Armour is closed.
Damn,
I done left my car. No, I done left my car in a parking garage a mile from here. I'm still walking.
Oh, it's right here.
Now he pointing at something else, talking about it's right here. Ain't none of this stuff nowhere.
It's the Americans.
I'm on the street.
Right,
y'all, somebody come get me. Boy, when he ain't driving, he don't know a damn thing. Shit ain't funny.
Come on, boss, it's right here.
What's where?
Let me call. I'm gonna call him right now.
We lost. This is what I get for trying to be regular. We lost. You finna call Lululemon. Man,
I'm calling right now.
This is what I get for trying to do something regular.
Americans, come help.
Robin Roberts in New York. Musician and actor Jussie Smollett sat down with me for his first interview since that night in Chicago. Smollett told me how he's doing now and responds to those who doubt his account.
I'm pissed off.
What is it that has you so angry? Is it the attackers?
It's the attackers, but it's also the attacks. It's like, you know, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
What happened that night, Jussie?
When I landed in Chicago, and Frank Gatson, who's like my uncle, and he's also my creative director, and he picked me up. And then we got back to the apartment. There was no food. And so I went out to Walgreens thinking that they were 24 hours and to have a smoke. Walgreens was closed. So I called him up and I said, hey, I'm gonna run to Subway, which was across the street, and I'm gonna get a salad. Do you want anything? I went to the Subway and got the order. During that time, I texted my manager thinking that he was still in Australia because he was on an Australian tour with one of his other clients. Mm-hmm. And I said, yo, call me when you can. He called me immediately. And while he was on the phone, I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire. And I don't answer to Empire. My name ain't Empire. And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard Empire. So I turned around and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker masked, and he said, this MAGA country punches me right in the face. So I punched his ass back. And then we started tussling. You know, it was very icy, and we ended up tussling by the stairs. Fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me in my back. And then it just stopped. And they ran off. And I saw where they ran. And the phone was in my pocket, but it had fallen out. And it was sitting there. And my manager was still on the phone. So I picked up the phone and I said, Brandon. And he's like, what's going on? And I said, I was just jumped. And then I looked down and I see that there's a rope around my neck, which I hadn't.
You hadn't noticed it before?
No,
you didn't
because
see?
It was so fast. You know what I'm saying? It was so fast.
How long did this all
It felt like minutes, but it probably was like 30 seconds, honestly. I can't tell you, honestly. I noticed the rope around my neck and I started screaming. And I said, there's a rope around my neck.
Did you get any kind of description of the attack?
I gave a body description, and because I saw this, right here or whatever, but I didn't see, I can't tell you what color their eyes were. I can't tell you. And I did not see anything except the second person I saw running away. And the first person, I saw his stature. I gave the description as best as I could. You have to understand also that it's Chicago in winter. People can wear ski masks and nobody's going to question that.
The police have gone through a lot of video and they were able to capture an image of two people of interest. Have you seen that image? Mm-hmm. And do you believe that they could possibly be the attackers?
I do.
What is it about their size, or why do you feel that they could possibly be?
Because I was there. For me, when that was released, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's them. Never did.
Why did you hesitate to want to call the police?
You know, there's a level of pride there. We live in a society where, as a gay man, you are considered somehow to be weak. And I'm not weak. I am not weak. And we, as a people, are not weak. So, I can accept that there was pride there. There's also privacy. You know, at the end of the day, look what has happened. You know, look what has happened. So, I'm glad that Frank called the police. I'm glad that we reported it. During that time before they came, it took them about maybe half hour to come. And during that time, I was looking at myself, just like checking myself out. I saw the bruise on my neck, you know, like the little, the rope burn around my neck. And then I smelled bleach. I know the smell of bleach. And I saw on my sweatshirt, it had marks on it, like spots on it, when you have a bad bleach job. So then I was like, there's bleach on me too. So when the police came, I kept the clothes on. I kept the rope.
So you had the rope on the entire time?
I mean, it wasn't like wrapped around, but yeah, it was around because I wanted them to see. I wanted them to see what this was. I told them what happened, everything. I also asked them to turn their body cams off because they were trying to stay in the hallway. And I was like, please just come in. Like, I don't want a big scene with my neighbors and with like the second round of police officers. I went down to where it happened and I walked them through exactly what happened. And I looked up and I saw that there was a camera directly on the light post that is in the intersection. So I'm like, there it is.
A potential break in the case that would eventually fall apart days later.
And then the detective told me that the camera inside of the casing was facing north, so they didn't have it. And that was disappointing.
The vast majority of people have been supportive and loving and understanding. And then as time has gone on, and that there's no, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to Subway, Sub-Zero.
Subway is open 24 hours. Like, people kill me when they say things like that because it's like Subway is open 24 hours for a reason. So that when you're hungry at night and you ain't got no food, you go to Subway. The camera facing north, how is that my issue? It feels like If I had said it was a Muslim or a Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot more. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country right now. The fact that we have these fear mongers, these people that are trying to separate us, and it's just not okay. It's just not okay. And for all of the people, the next time that you see someone report something, maybe well after the fact that it happened, and you say to them, well, why you wait until now? Just remember that mine was reported right away. And look what has happened.
The phone. When did you, because as you said, it was an accurate account of the timeline, valuable information. When did you make that information available to the police?
We had to give the phone records, which they didn't originally ask for my phone records. They asked for my phone. They wanted me to give my phone to the tech for 3 to 4 hours. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do that.
Why?
Because I have private pictures and videos and numbers, my partner's number, my family's number, my castmates' number, my friends' numbers, my private emails, my private songs, my private voice memos. I don't know what that's going to be to hand over my phone for, and honestly, by then, inaccurate, false statements had already been put out there.
Earlier this week, he submitted phone records from within an hour of the incident, but Chicago police said they were limited and heavily redacted, adding they need additional information to corroborate the investigative timeline. His attorneys tell us they are willing to cooperate. Smollett also says he has been troubled by inaccurate claims. What other ones had you heard that were inaccurate?
That I had said that they were wearing MAGA hats. I never said that. I didn't need to add anything like that. They called me a They called me a There's no which way you cut it. I don't need some MAGA hat as the cherry on top of some racist sundae. I've heard that it was a date gone bad, which I so resent that narrative. I'm not gonna go out and get a tuna sandwich and a salad to meet somebody. That's ridiculous, and it's offensive. Yes, there's Grindr, yes, there's Jacked, yes, there's all of these things, which I have not been on in years. I can admit that I was on that back in the day. I was single, you know what I'm saying? But I have not been on that in years. But aside from that, it's offensive, and I absolutely resent that narrative because it's bull. It's bull. And it's unfair. It's unfair to the investigation. It's unfair to, I hate this word, but it's unfair to the victim.
What were your injuries? What were
they did x-rays. I didn't have, it was reported that I had like fractured ribs or cracked ribs or something like that. That wasn't true. I was just in a lot of pain. You know, my clavicle was messed up, my rib was bruised, but nothing was cracked. Like I walked into the hospital. I walked out of the hospital.
Why do you think you were targeted?
I can just assume, I mean, I come really, really hard against 45. I come really, really hard against his administration. And I don't hold my tongue.
I want to ask you about Jussie Smollett.
I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse, as far as I'm concerned.
Were you aware that he made that statement?
I saw it. I don't know what to say to that, you know? I appreciate him not brushing over it.
And there is no doubt in your mind what motivated this attack?
I could only go off of their words. I mean, who says empire, this MAGA country, ties a noose around your neck and pours bleach on you, and this is just a friendly fight? I will never be the man that this did not happen to. I am forever changed. And I don't subscribe to the idea that everything happens for a reason, but I do subscribe to the idea that we have the right and the responsibility to make something meaningful out of the things that happen to us, good and bad.
What do you feel people need to hear the most from this story?
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth. It's just the truth, because everybody has their own idea. Some are healing and some are hurtful. But I just want young people, young members of the LGBTQ community, young black children, to know how strong that they are, to know the power that they hold in their little pinky.
It's been 2 weeks since that night left actor Jussie Smollett bruised but not broken, and he's still processing the raw emotions. Have you ever been threatened before?
Yeah. I get threatened all the time on Twitter and Instagram and DMs and things like that. It's like, but, you know, I'm a public figure. I'm very outspoken. Sometimes maybe too outspoken, but it's who I am, you know? So I get the idea of pissing people off, that you're gonna rub people the wrong way.
In fact, the week before the attack, police confirm a letter was sent to the Fox studio in Chicago with threatening language and laced with powdery substance, likely Tylenol. Do you think there's a link between the letter and the attack? And you did mention it to the police right away about the letter.
Absolutely. Just because on the letter it had a stick figure hanging from a tree with a gun pointing towards it, with the words that said, "Smollett Jussie, you will die, black." There was no address, but the return address said in big red, you know, like caps, MAGA. Did I make that up too?
And despite lack of video surveillance footage, Smollett hopes to rewrite the narrative about that night, saying he fought back against his attackers and reported the incident after his creative director called 911.
He's supposed to be well-known requesting a report, instead the noose was placed over the friend's neck.
I want that video found so badly because for probably 4 reasons. Number one, I want them to find the people that did it. Number two, I want them to stop being able to say alleged attack. Number three, I want them to see that I fought back. And I want a little gay boy who might watch this to see that I fought back. And it does not take anything away from people that are not able to do that. But I fought back. They ran off. I didn't.
What do you say to a young gay man, a young gay person?
To learn to fight. And I don't just mean like learn to fight. I mean, learn to fight. Learn to be a fighter. I am not advocating violence at all. So let's be clear about that. If you're gonna die, fight until you do. Because if you don't fight, you have no chance. I have fought for love. I'm an advocate. I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
If the attackers are never found, how will you be able to heal?
I don't know. Let's just hope that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not go there yet. Let's, I was talking to a friend and I said, I just want them to find them. And she said, sweetie, they're not gonna find them. And that just made me so angry because, so I'm just gonna be left here with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna be left here with like, so they get to go free and go about their life and possibly attack someone else, and I'm here to left with the aftermath of this bull? That's not cool to me. That's not okay. So I understand how difficult it will be to find them, but we gotta. I still want to believe with everything that has happened that there's something called justice. Because if I stop believing that, then what's it all for?
Thank you, Jussie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I still want to believe with everything that has happened that there's something called justice.